It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Living Daily, episode 962. Is that why we're doing this? By Joshua Becker of Becoming Minimalist.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Happy Monday, and welcome back to Optimal Living Daily, or the OLD podcast, where I read to you from some of the best blogs I can find and get permission from, mostly covering personal development and minimalism on this show. And I do have a minimalist post for you today. Before we get to it, thank you to Kopari. Kopari's coconut deodorant is aluminum-free and fights odor with plant-based ingredients. No silicones, sulfates, GMOs, or baking soda, so it's great for sensitive skin. Say aloha to Kopari. Go to kopari.com/old to make the safe switch today and see how you can save $5 off your first order. That's kopari.com/OLD. kopari.com/old. Now let's get right to today's post and start optimizing your life. Is that why we're doing this? By Joshua Becker of Becoming Minimalist.com. It was a salutation unique to me. Take good care of that car. The young man behind the register said it just as I turned to leave the gas station. With my back turned, a puzzled look emerged on my face. Take good care of that car? What an odd thing to say, I thought as I pushed open the door. I mean, I'd expect to hear have a nice evening or even take care, but not take good care of that car. Immediately, however, everything began to make sense as I walked outside and remembered the shiny black 2016 Chevrolet Camaro I had just driven to the gas station. He was complimenting me on it. This must be what it feels like, was the thought racing through my mind as I stepped on the gas and sped away into the quiet night. At this point, I should probably back up. This past Saturday, my Southwest flight landed on the dark runway of an airport in the middle of a snowy, blizzardy Omaha, Nebraska. Snowplows worked tirelessly removing the wet, heavy snow. The temperature was not cold, 33 degrees Fahrenheit to be exact, but the temps were dropping and snow was definitely sticking to the pavement. I'd arrived in Omaha that evening to speak at a church the next morning 45 minutes away in Lincoln, Nebraska. Around 10 p.m., when I approached the weary airport employee at the car rental counter, I was the only customer in sight, probably his last one of the night. I'm guessing because the man's shift was almost over, or maybe because of the frequency with which I've rented cars from this particular company. Upon arrival, the gentleman asked if I was interested in an upgrade on my reserved vehicle. Sure, I responded. Why would any traveler turn down a free upgrade? Great. How about I give you the Camaro? He asked. For free? I clarified. I mean, knowing me, my original reservation was for the cheapest car in their database, and a Camaro seemed like a pretty significant upgrade. Yes, for free. Nobody else seems interested in it today. I remembered the wet December snow falling outside. Sure, I'll take it. I learned to drive in North Dakota. A little snow doesn't worry me. Before I knew it, I was off the lot, heading to my night's lodging with plenty of time to make final preparations for my busy Sunday morning. On my way, I stopped at a small gas station to pick up some chapstick. In that particular gas station, I was met with that unfamiliar greeting by the young cashier with the dark hair. Take good care of that car. Why he thought wishing my car well was more important than wishing me well, I'll never know. But maybe that's because I've never been much of a car guy. I know there are some who find great enjoyment in the pursuit, but it's always seemed like an expensive hobby to me. Not to mention I've seen countless financial lives burdened or even ruined by too ambitious of a monthly car payment. So I almost consider it a blessing that I've never been particularly drawn to expensive vehicles. It's probably because of that non-car guy status that the gas station attendant's salutation sounded so strange to me. When a middle-aged man drives up in a white 2005 Honda Accord, nobody rushes to compliment him on his car. They must save those greetings for the folks in the Camaros and Mustangs. For the first time in my life, somebody went out of their way to compliment me on the car they assumed I owned. So you have to excuse me for being surprised by it. You'll have to forgive me for my internal reaction to it as well. You see, when I climbed back into that car, a car that I don't even own, I experienced a rush of pride. It was brief, but nevertheless, there was a distinct feeling of arrogance that caused me to prop my head up a little bit higher and step on the gas a little bit harder. I was driving an expensive car, nicer, I assume, than the car driven by that man behind the counter. I asked myself in that moment, is this what it feels like to drive a sports car? To know that people look at you in your car when you pull up next to them at a red light or into your parking spot at the gas station? This must be part of the appeal. Is this what draws people to expensive cars? Is this why they buy them? I know, of course, there are other reasons people are drawn to expensive vehicles. They enjoy the speed, the craftsmanship, the hobby, or the memories conjured up because of them. But is it also the case in many circumstances that these feelings and this appearance of superiority are also part of the draw? Because if that's the case, what a shame. There are far more important things I like to be known for than the model vehicle I park in my garage. I'm so glad I'm not a car guy. And yet, I can't help but believe this appeal extends beyond the cars that we drive. Maybe I am not a car guy per se, but that doesn't mean I may not be trying to impress others with the things that I own in other ways. Sometimes we seek these feelings of pride in the houses that we live in, the clothes that we wear, the technology that we carry, or the vacations that we take. Too often, we pursue these things not because of the value they offer to our lives, but because we crave the attention and acclamation of others. Which makes me wonder, is that why we're doing all this? Is this one of the reasons we keep buying all the stuff we don't need? Just to impress our family, our friends, our neighbors, or the cashier at the gas station? Because if so, what a shame. Our lives hold far greater potential than that. You just listened to the post titled, "Is That Why We're Doing This?" by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. Definitely something worth thinking about. If you love cars, no worries. But I definitely agree we should think about why. What is the reason exactly? And again, it applies to pretty much everything, not just cars. So definitely think about that. And thank you again to Kopari. When I'm starting out my day, I'm usually thinking about breakfast or what I'm going to need to get done for that day, my to-do list, all that kind of stuff. One thing I never used to think about, deodorant. But I'm hearing more and more about unsafe ingredients, and if there's a safer alternative, I'd want to know about it. That's why I've got to tell you about the aluminum-free deodorant that changed the game for me, Kopari. It's gotten a lot of love from editors at Cosmo and People, and there are thousands of 5-star reviews on Kopari's website from people who are now coconut converts. It doesn't leave behind a sticky white residue, and it's great for sensitive skin because it's free of silicones, sulfates, GMOs, and more. Say aloha to Kopari. Go to kopari.com/old to make the safe switch today and see how you can save $5 off your first order. That's kopari.com/OLD. kopari.com/old. And I'll leave it at that. I hope your week is off to a great start. Thank you for being here and listening to me and for being a subscriber to the show. It really means a lot. I'll be back tomorrow reading to you where your optimal life awaits.